Greetings, everyone. I am doing this recording today here in Kenya. It's 23rd. It's 2:30 a.m. and I'm doing a recording because something very unique has happened. On Sunday, I was ministering in a church, and where I was ministering, um, the wife of the bishop of the church where I was ministering called me very early in the morning at around 2 a.m. And I got a bit shocked because it's very rare somebody to call at that. I thought something has happened. But she told me, I want to share with you a dream of what I've just dreamed. And it was the dream of birthing of a male child. And it's because on Sunday, as we were sharing, I said we are entering into a new season. And on that day, we declared that it is a time of conception. And very soon, we are going to see the manifestation of what is happening. I want to thank Brother John because I had shared with him about a revelation that I got about the blood moon. And I want to thank him for giving me this opportunity and to share to the mystics of the mystery as received from the Lord. I had traveled to South Africa. My younger brother resides there. That's why they reside with the wife and the children. And he had invited me and my sisters to go there and my fiancé to go there and visit them. We traveled on the 4th of September, and on Sunday evening he invited friends for dinner, the friends around, so that we may be able to have a fellowship dinner. And about 8:20 in the evening, as we are sitting down, the mystery of the blood moon occurred. And it was a very unique sight. We took the video of the blood moon as it changed. And as I was beholding the scenario, the Lord spoke to me and asked me, do you know what is going on? Do you see that sign? That is a very powerful sign. And I'm about to do something very, very unique and very, very different this season. So after that we enjoyed our dinner, and at night, as I retreated to bed, that is when now the Lord started opening to me the mystery of the blood moon. Not only the blood moon, but this particular blood moon. It is so prophetic, and it is carrying a lot of prophetic insights that with all certainty in my heart, we are entering a period like no other. A change is coming. There's been declaration of what is about to happen. Prophet John, Bishop Andre, and many others that are saying we have entered into a season. And I'm going to explain why it is so different, like no other. Now, we all know that the heavens declare the glory of the Lord, and as in heaven, so on earth. So whatever is revealed in the heaven, it's a true representation of what is about to happen in earth. The heavens is a prophetic voice And the only thing is, wherever or as on earth we are told to judge a prophecy, 2 or 3 witnesses. The prophetic voice of the heavens, we don't judge it. It is us to interpret and obey, because that is the voice of the Lord. And it will happen. It will happen. We know of many signs that have happened in the heavens, which were signs. The first recording about the heavens and the voice is Genesis 1:14, where it says that the Lord put lights in the firmament of the heaven, so that the lights will be for signs, seasons, for days, and for years. So they speak, they declare feasts, moedim, and they are for days and for years. So we have a prophetic voice in the heavens, which is a sign and also declares a season. So we were privileged to see the sign of the blood moon, and in the same time, it was a sign to declare that we are entering into the feast of Hoshana this year. And also, it was a sign to declare, just like Jesus Christ declared when he entered into the synagogue and he opened the scroll in the book of Luke, chapter 4, or chapter 1 there. You know that he entered into the synagogue and opened the scroll that was written, and he said, "This script has been fulfilled today." So it is a sign that declares the day of the Lord and the year, because we are actually entering into the year of Jubilee this season. So it is carrying so many all the four things that were spoken in Genesis chapter 1 verse 14 are actually happening. The sign, we saw the sign. The season, we are entering into the fall feast, the feast of we are entering into the feast of trumpet, then the feast of atonement, and then now the tabernacles, and then the day, and then the year. We are declining in the year of Jubilee. Now, the Lord spoke to me and told me, why the blood moon? And he revealed to me, I have never seen that. He told me, it's because the moon is feminine, whereas the sun is masculine. You know, we are in a season where there is back-to-back of the 2 eclipses. On 7th of September, we had the blood moon. On 21st of September, we had the solar eclipse of the sun. And then on 22nd, we started now the new year, the year 5786. And 5786, the gematria, the value of 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 6 is 26. 2 plus 6 is 8. And 8 is always a new beginning. So we are entering into a new beginning, a new move, a new dimension like no other. Now, so as in heaven, so on earth. So the moon shedding blood moon, red blood moon. It is a sign of another thing that God put on earth, and that is the cycle that our dear, uh, uh, the female, the woman, undergoes on earth. Now, the woman undergoes a monthly cycle, and in the monthly cycle, it is a 28 days cycle. And in the 28-day cycle, if no fertilization happens, then we have now the shedding of blood. And therefore, the Lord spoke to me that the moon that is red is the shedding of the blood. But always, when the shedding of the blood happens, we start a new cycle. And therefore, on 7th was the end of a cycle because of the blood moon. And we entered into a new cycle. And as in the natural, after 28 days, if nothing happens, then again you go to another cycle. But something happens very unique. The cycle of a woman takes 14 days. I mean, the ovulation takes 14 days. And the 14th day is the peak. And on the 14th day, that is the epitome or the highest realm. And at that time, the woman can conceive. So, when I looked at the calendar, I found that from the 7th, when there was the blood moon, to 21st of September is exactly 14 days. Just like in the natural, on the 14th day, that is when ovulation takes place. Now, the sun is masculine. So on 21st, the sun, which is a type of the male, release a seed. And there is no other seed in the book of Galatians chapter 3. There is only one seed, and that seed is Christ. And those who are very, very alert in the realm of the spirit, there was a conception. You remember as we had the session with Prophet John and Bishop Andrea, the same day, declaring what is about to happen. Now, so it was very prophetic that we had the blood moon, the shedding of the blood, the starting of a new cycle, just like in the natural. And 14 days, there was the sun, and the sun is masculine. So the two eclipses that happened was a sign that something has been bad. What is the evidence? The evidence was the evidence that we have conceived was on 22nd, was the beginning of the new year, according to the biblical pattern. It does not happen. That is not a normal occurrence. That is very, very, very spiritual. And therefore, we, in those who are alert in the spirit, something was birthed in the dimension of the spirit. So when this pastor lady called me very late in the morning, 2 a.m., and told me I have dreamt a dream where I went into uh, a labor, and there was a midwife, and I birthed a man child. And we had declared in that sanctuary where I was ministering that we have conceived. She said she cannot hold. She has to call me and tell me what has happened. So already there is a witness that we are actually birthing something very unique. Now, the same church had gone. On the 1st of June, another unique thing was the Feast of Pentecost. And in the same church I had gone, I had told them, this is a very, very unique Pentecost. Because this is a Pentecost with a Jubilee. And we said, Jubilee, it is the sign where we receive back our inheritance. And our inheritance is the fullness of Christ. There is no other inheritance. It's receiving all what Christ's dimension refers to us. So we have been declaring that we are in a very unique season. From the 1st of June, we started declaring that we have entered a Pentecost, but it is going to lead us into a Jubilee. So this season is very unique. There is something that is the feast of the 7 feasts in the book of Leviticus chapter 23. There is the uniqueness of one feast, the Feast of Atonement, on the 10th day of the 7th month, which started yesterday. The 7th month, although is in the Hebrew calendar, it is the beginning of a new year. Now, on the 50th day, in Leviticus 25, you can turn the Day of Atonement into a Jubilee. The same day, the 10th day, you can either declare it as an atonement, or the same day can become your Jubilee. To us, since we started declaring from June 1st that we are entering into a Jubilee, we know that we are going to birth something very unique this season. The 10th day, something I am very, very know in the spirit that something very unique is about to happen on the 2nd of October, because it will be the 10th day. So between now and 2nd October, the 10th day is the trumpet, and we are declaring about what God is about to do, because the trumpet is a sound. So we are releasing a sound. We are releasing that sound of what we have witnessed, that we have seen a blood moon, we have seen a solar eclipse, a 14-day, and then the next day is a beginning of the feast. It is not by coincidence. We have an inner witness that something has happened, and we are entering into a new season in the dimension of the Spirit. Now, the word, what the Lord told me is in Genesis 1:28. The Bible says that when he created man in his own image and his own likeness, then he told them, and he created male and female, which is the whole teaching. We know that there is a difference between a man and a woman and between male and female. Male and female is a dimension where there is no separation. There is no separation in male and female. But in man and woman, they can even go to the dimension of divorce. But what God said is the image of him is male and female, because in God there is no divorce. There is no divorce. The reason is why there is no divorce is because whatever proceeds out of the mouth of God must come forth, and it reveals itself. Therefore, that is what we see in the book of Genesis. Whatever was the thought, God spoke it, then he saw it, and it was good. That is the dimension of the male and female. Now, then he spoke and said, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. Now, the word fruitful has never applied for the masculine. The word fruitful is a masculine, is a feminine name. Women's are the one who are fruitful. And the Lord spoke to me that particular night, and he told me that particular night on the 7th of, as I retreated to bed, because it was a whole night of teaching the Lord opened to me. He told me that this world, the world that we live in, the fruitfulness, what controls the population is not the man, it is the woman. And the woman, the reason why they control is because of that process of the menstrual cycle. And the woman releases the egg, and it travels through the fallopian tube, and you know that. And when it connects with the seed, then that is when there is conception, and then the birthing. And he told me, men naturally, they are always ready with their seed. But with their seed, it is bound to the process of ovulation of the woman. So the woman, although she looks a bit, she's submissive, she's the one that controls the birthing process, or the fruitfulness. The increase is actually through the feminine nature, and it is through the cycle of the 28 days. And therefore, so the heavens, when the blood moon happened, the Lord told me, watch that sign, because that is what is ushering us into a new thing. Just like in the natural, so in the spirit, that is what is happening. We were prepared immediately after the blood moon, the 14-day period. It was a time of preparation. And when the solar eclipse happened, conception took place on the 21st. And what is now awaiting is the birthing of what we have received. And the birthing is the birthing of the male child. Remember, the male child also involves the sun, the moon, and the stars. I don't want to go, about the woman in the book of Revelation chapter 12. It involved the sun, the moon, and the stars. And therefore, there was the birthing of the male child. And the male child is not a baby. It is a mature child. Only two people have qualified that. Adam, when he came out, was mature. He is the only one who never became a baby. Adam, in the book of Genesis 2, was complete. The only thing that the Bible declares, although he was complete, he was a living soul. But to us, thank God, what you are birthing, it is not a living soul, but a quickening spirit. Because they are the first Adam and the last Adam. So the last Adam is the life-giving spirit. So we are birthing a dimension of maturity where it is a quickening spirit, where we are going to impact the rotten world with the power and the glory of the risen Christ. So we are in a very exciting time, and my heart is expectant to what God is about to do. Now, there is another mystery that is hidden in the Word of God. Most people know about the 12 sons of Jacob. But if you read the Bible, Jacob had 12 sons and one daughter by the name of Dinah. So if you calculate, Jacob had 13 children. 12 sons and one girl or a lady, bringing to 13. Why am I saying that? It's because when you use the solar calendar, the Gregorian calendar, we have 12 months, the 12 months. But if you take your calculator and do this, divide 365 and divide by 28, because the lunar cycle is 28 days, you get it is 13. So the lunar cycle happens 13 times in a period of 12 months controlled by the solar. So Dinah, who is the 13th, the 12 sons and the 13th, is a feminine. So most people mostly concentrate on the 12 sons. Yes, but Dinah, who was the only one who was a lady, was the 13th. And that was the completion of the lunar cycle in Jacob. And most people don't see that. And that is why Dinah was raped. She was raped because they wanted to do away with the 13th, the one that carries the mystery of birthing, because the completion of the cycle, the cycle, the lunar cycle, there are 13 cycles. So the enemy wanted to destroy Dinah because Dinah represented the woman in that dimension, and she was raped so that she does not conceive. But thank God, we are in a dispensation where Dinah is not going to be raped. Dinah is going to bring forth. She is going to birth. And whatever she is going to birth, it will bring the completion of the dimension of what God intended to reveal through the 12 sons and the 13th. The 13th, what I'm calling the Dinah. I'm always very passionate about Dinah because she holds a mystery of the feminine part, which is forgotten. If you go, you know, especially in most cultures worldwide, the woman is degraded. It's like a nobody. And there is the egoistic of the male in most cultures. Even in my country, there are some tribes where the woman is like a nobody. And she has been demeaned and she has been ridiculed. But thank God in the realm of the spirit, she is exalted. The woman is exalted. She is the beloved. The Bible declares that Mary was the beloved of all the world. She was the beloved because what? She understood the times, and God found it worth to reveal the birthing of Christ through a woman. It was by Mary, that feminine nature, that God was about to birth the Christ in that generation. So when I saw the moon, the Lord declared the ridicule, the 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 subjugation of the feminine nature has come to an end. And there is a rising now within us. Now the birthing, which is now took place on the 21st of September. And we birth a new dimension in the realm of the spirit. What we need to do is to be alert, as we declared in the month of August, the countdown, which we did, and we declared that we are ascending into dimensions. And you remember before Prophet John went to Thailand, we said it is a new move. And the new move, it is happening in September. September, just as we declared that the countdown has ended. You remember about the mystery of the 10, and we declared we are entering into a new move. And now the month of September, which is also the 9th month, the month of birthing, in the geometry, as I said, the year 5786 is number 8, which is a new beginning. It can never be a coincidence. There is so many hidden truths in what is happening right now. And it takes people who are awake, and they are awake in the dimension of the spirit, to behold what is happening, so that we are not going to be trapped by the happenings of the outer world, but we enter into who we are, our reality, because our reality is in the dimension of the spirit. And we do what we are supposed to do. And to do is like the sons of Issachar. They understood the times, and they knew what Israel ought to do. And to us, because we carry the prophetic, both the prophetic, we understand the sun, the moon, and the stars. We also have the prophetic voice that has been given. We know what we need to do. And what we need to do is to push, just like the woman in the book of Revelation, chapter 12. It is one of the most mysterious. This is a dragon, the highest realm of the manifestation of the serpent, because the Bible declares in the book of Revelation chapter 12 that the dragon is that ancient serpent, which is the devil and Satan. So, from the garden where we find the serpent, it has been changing to the devil, to Satan, and the last manifestation is actually the dragon. And now this dragon, with its 7 heads, no, with its 7 heads and 10 horns, it's in the heavens. And the woman, if you read that account, she is standing and the dragon is there. The woman, you check, she is not bothered with the dragon. And you can imagine the awesomeness of this creature standing before the woman. But the woman was not concerned with the dragon. The woman was busy pushing to birth what she carried. So, we should not bother with the manifestation of the dragon, the nature, what is happening out there. What we need to do as a church is to concentrate on what we carry and push. And when we push and we give birth, she was in labor, she birthed the male child. So we should not be distracted by the happenings, what is happening. We should be so much concerned in what we carry. We push. How do we push? Through prayer declarations in our worships, speaking in tongues, and speaking of what is about to happen. Let us not be distracted with the happenings outside there. Let us, so much like the woman in the book of Revelation, let us be concerned in what we are carrying. How what we are carrying has been revealed. We received the seed on the 21st of September, the sun, which is the type of the sun, because we have the sun and we have SUN and SON. Both is the sun. So therefore, the sun is masculine. It released a seed. And therefore, this is season that we are in from yesterday. We should not be so much concerned. There will be a lot of things happening there. The wars and all those things. But I ask us, brothers and sisters, to be so concerned with what we are carrying. Because whatever is going to be birthed is caught up to the throne, and it starts to minister to the nations. We are entering into a dimension where the ridiculed church, the bride has been ridiculed, but we are entering into a dimension where we are going to be clothed with the supernatural glory, and we are going to reveal the fullness of Christ, the maturity, the man-child to the nations. And we are going to move with that power. That is what I sense in the dimensions of the Spirit. And that is what I wanted to share. And that is what I felt persuaded that it has happened. It has happened. To me, it has happened. I have received a dream of the confirmation. A friend or another friend of mine called within our fellowship that we usually have had received another dream that she is marrying a woman who is exactly 50 years. And when we received the dream, we said, surely we are actually birthing the Jubilee. The woman that was exactly 50 years. All these signs and dreams are not in vain. It's to prepare us to what is about to happen. And I pray the rising mystics, through the so many prophetic voices that are being raised up, that let us discern the times. And we do what we ought to do, is to push, declare what we carry, and very soon it shall come forth, just like the woman in the dream. She birthed a male child. That is the testimony of what we carry. And may God bless you.